Another Wednesday night edition of Talking Baseball Live with Elaine Giletti. And that's right, Dirty Deeds are done dirt cheap, and my co-host is...
Carl McGlasky.
Oh boy, Carl. Who do we got in the background tonight? The usual suspects?
We got Gene, Monk, and Ruben in the back.
That's right. So we want to welcome you to Hamilton Radio Studios, Ironhoff Film Studios, and let me tell you, the baseball season hasn't begun, and already, since they announced there's going to be a season, a lot of people are testing positive. They've been saying baseball has dropped the proverbial ball with the COVID testing, and it might get worse before it even starts. Garrett Cole looked great yesterday. He's been working out all season. A lot of getting Miggy with it, hit a home run off of him over the right field. And I'm guessing why they upgraded the rosters and have the taxi squad is for the reason of being that, of course, they knew this was all going to happen eventually, sooner or later. But we welcome you back, and we hope you will stay with us for the next hour and a half to 2 hours. Carl's got to run out, in about a half hour to 40 minutes to go a little dingy baseball, and hope you guys win tonight.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a long time. We haven't done it since October, so
don't hurt yourself, all right?
No, I won't hurt myself.
Don't break nothing. Don't spray nothing. We'll have to put you on the IL.
Could be.
So what's going on, buddy? How's everything? How's work? Everything's good?
Actually, I'm good this week. I'm on vacation.
Oh, nice. Is it nice and relaxed?
Yeah, I'm just been doing stuff around here. Tomorrow, I'm actually planning on going to Parks and do some simulcast horse racing.
Oh, jockeys up.
Yes.
Or riders up. I'm sorry.
Yes. So,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, can't wait for that. It's going to be perfect weather. Sunny out. It's going to be a little warm, but I'll be inside with the AC, wearing a mask. But you got to do what you got to do for indoors. Before we start...
Are the racetracks open?
Yeah, everything's open. Everything's open. For live racing, they're just doing limiting capacity of fans with all that. But before we keep on going, we want to throw a shout-out to our buddy Danny in Brooklyn.
Danny boy.
Can't wait to see him in a couple weeks for the big opening week show. Matt in Florida. Hope you're enjoying your vacation down there.
Yeah, Matt's with the family. Darren, my sister Leslie, my mom, they're all vacationing. Everybody needs a break from here. I don't know if it's better anywhere else.
No.
But,
and also, I want to give a shout-out. My heart goes to all the incoming freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and transfer seniors for the Ivy League. As I found out a couple hours ago, they will have no fall sports for the upcoming fall season because of COVID.
Yeah, canceling a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're saying maybe they'll do football in the spring. If that's the case, they'll be able to play. Hopefully, they could start the winter, but for basketball. But I don't know. I have no idea. My heart goes to them. We still don't know if Murphy's going to let everyone go back to school in September. I have no idea about that, but we're not here for that. We're just here for baseball. So
it does affect some of the sports. Don't forget, you don't want to have a little league. I'm sorry, kids who are under a certain age be wearing a face mask at school. I mean, with humidity, there's no air conditions in the schools.
Yeah,
and you're breathing that stuff in. When you breathe.
Right.
That thing I saw in Home Depot. What are those cooling?
Yeah. So my brother picked it up at his CVS in Hampton Square. It's called a Mission mask. So basically, it's a cooling towel. If you buy this wherever you can wet this for 2 hours, and it'll keep your face cool, so you're not overheating yourself while you're on the field. The governor didn't say particularly if the kids are going to have to wear the mask when they start playing ball in a couple weeks. So hopefully they don't need to, because like if it was how it was on Monday before we got the bad rain, it was real hot outside. and you can't run with the mask because you overheat yourself and you could probably pass out.
That's
from
correct.
yeah.
So you got to be on the
dehydration.
field with that thing on?
Yes.
How's baseball doing it?
I don't know.
When I saw the glimpse of the Yankees doing their little scrimmage stuff on the S Network. Some guys were wearing a face mask on the
Right.
not on the field as they were playing, but they were
Right.
And I noticed how we said how they're going to get the ball back to each other.
Right.
They are wearing gloves on their throwing.
So back to what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I got the rules for this coming season, which we were supposed to start on Monday, but we got canceled because of the rain. Our team starts play tonight, so we have to use batting gloves on our left and right hand, so our bare hand doesn't touch the ball. Our commissioner said we're not obligated to wear these, but as a precaution, our player team coach wants us to wear this anyway. So for our families don't get this, so I understand what he's coming from.
Yeah,
know?
it's a little bad, and I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Paulie Mache. What's going on, Paul? New York City Sanitation guys are always doing a great job. Not just in Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Bronx, and all that other stuff. They're going through a lot with this pandemic, trying to stay healthy. Some more workers have tested positive, I heard. They had to shut a couple of garages down in Manhattan. A lot of craziness going on. And, of course, even though I'm retired, yesterday would have been I started with the job 23 years ago. Yesterday would have been 23 years. But... it's even crazier, not just in baseball or football. Hockey is supposed to be starting soon.
Yes.
Some wrestlers from the WWE and other wrestling federations have tested positive. So it's a little crazy. It's scary. What do we do? He halted the indoor restaurant capacity, and all of a sudden that was after all the BS was going on. He just hold on, hit the brakes. He did the thing with the Batmobile when Batman hit the thing for the bat U-turn and the parachutes came out. So,
now what he did mention was, say you have indoor restaurants, but you have basically open air on both sides of the building.
Yeah, you could do that.
You could do that, but enclosed, no. Outdoor is still available, but enclosed indoor, he's saying right now, I wouldn't be shocked if it's that way until maybe the fall. Late fall, maybe.
I want to give it anybody who's watching, if you're a big Elvis Presley fan, my friend Richie Santa's Elvis Tribute Show will be at the Brick House in Sayreville, New Jersey next week. 2 shows, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Make your reservations at thebrickhouse.com. Give them a call. Tell them you want to come see one of the best Elvis tribute artists out there, Mr. Richie Santa, who was supposed to play tomorrow night but got canceled over in Hillsborough, New Jersey. But other than that, the schedules, as we copy John Sterling say schedule, came out yesterday, and I couldn't print out the Met one. They were giving me the whole 2020 without the change. So your Philly team is opening up on the 24th against
Marlins, yes.
The Marlins, and in the beginning they play the Yankees already, and they don't play them after that. At least I don't have to complain about playing Baltimore 20 times.
No, so we open with 3 games set home against the Marlins.
You got the Marlins.
Yep. Then the
and
Yankees, and then we have to go to the Bronx.
Then you go to the Bronx, and then Toronto. Well, I guess they got the approval, I think.
As of now, they did.
They got the approval of playing Oh Canada. Then they go on the road for Toronto, Miami, and then play Atlanta, Baltimore, the Mutts, Boston, then Atlanta, Washington, Atlanta again, Washington. Yankees open up. This is going to be probably one of the best pitching duels we've been waiting for in a long time. Being a Yankee fan, they go to Washington and open up against the Nats, and of course it's Mr. Garrett Cole against Mr. Scherzer. And
what I don't understand is,
and I got a pretty good stat to give you. Go ahead.
What I don't understand is, how come that Sunday game isn't a national televised ESPN game?
I thought it was a Fox game.
No, Saturday is, but Sunday is a TBS 1 o'clock game.
No, you mean you guys?
No, you're the series finale with Washington.
Oh, that Sunday game.
It's a 105 game. You would think it would be ESPN first pitch 7 o'clock, but but they're putting somebody else on instead. I thought that was a big.
I didn't know who they were. All right.
Yeah,
They're probably on the Yankee channel then.
Probably, but still,
they're
they're with the Yankees and TBS. But if I was ESPN, I would wonder.
Well, that's what they said this was all about, and it came out. They said it's for the networks because they're losing some scuttle. Now here's a stat again for Garrett Cole. This was crazy when I read this. If Garrett Cole starts 8-0 this season, he would tie Hall of Famer Carl Hubble for the longest wins by a pitcher, a streak by a pitcher. He would tie a record, which would be 24 straight wins.
Oh, yeah, because he won 16 straight last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not including the playoffs. That's just regular season.
Yeah.
So that's a sick stat. And he, of course, I didn't write all the names down, was joined by some very crazy people. Let me tell you. So with that, then we play you guys, then Boston. They go to Baltimore, Tampa, Atlanta, Boston. It's. Somebody said looking at the Yankee schedule, they might win like 42 games.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think any more than that. I mean,
I'm thinking
Chris Sale is definitely out for the remainder of the year.
I'm thinking 37-40.
No, that was the MLB pick. Was like
I think
40,
it's good.
42.
I think it'll be 37-23 or 40.
Well, the first three against Washington, that could go either way.
Yeah, because you could be
that's like 3 to that's
you could be 0-3 or 1-2 because you're getting Washington's.
You're getting 3 to the top guys.
Yeah, top dogs. Yes.
I don't know if Tuesday and Tanaka is going to pitch. I mean, after you got and when Stanton hit him, yeah, he knew what that felt like because when he when he got walloped in the face that time when he was a Marlin. But it's going to be a crazy year. I mean. Does it get worse before it gets started? And I thought about something. When you're sitting at work or something and something runs through your mind and go, wait a minute. I didn't think of that. You can't go out and argue balls and strikes, and you can't brawl. So it's going to be hunting season in Houston.
Yeah.
So if they get pegged at like 6,000 times, they can't do nothing about it.
No.
Oh, that's going to be fun. And they haven't opened any practice yet because... I think it's them, the Giants.
Oh yeah, they're spiked up. They spiked up.
Not only that, they haven't been able to get any testing. They
no
don't
testing?
have enough tests.
Oh,
they say that this thing is on the rise, but they closed all the testing sites. So the one at PNC Art Center, I thought they said was closed down. So
phone call.
Oh boy.
Hello.
Is this the Lone Ranger from Brooklyn?
The one and only.
What's going on?
What's going on, bud?
Boy.
What's up, fellas?
Not much.
What's going on?
Nothing. Just listening in, just hearing you talk about,
So what do you think, Danny? Does it get worse before it gets better?
Say that again?
Does it get worse before it gets better?
I don't know. I think, honestly, I understand people are nervous and people are scared, but if you really listen, people aren't dying anymore, if that helps.
Mm-hmm.
So, these are people who probably had this COVID for a long time or didn't even know about it, and now they're finally getting tested. And I think, maybe by the middle of August, everything should be, normal.
Oh, excuse me, Danny, before I don't mean to cut you off. One thing I also forgot to say was they're also going to have expanded rosters until, I think, August 8th or 11th is the cutoff.
That's why I said they did all this for the taxi squad, because if somebody's hurt or can't play, they're going to – this is the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right, there's no 40-man roster. It's a 60-man roster. And you could add and subtract as you need.
Yeah. So what did you think? MLB said 41 or 42 wins for the Yankees.
That's a lot. I mean,
looking at their schedule.
18 losses, that's tough. I would say I would honestly I'd be thinking around 35 and 25 in that area. 37 and 23.
Yeah, that's what
Something
we
like
talked
that.
about last week, possibly.
I know the Mets are going to give them a hard time. Oh, speaking of which, I believe it's next week. I don't know what was it, the 14th or 15th, or 15th and 16th, something like that. The Mets and Yankees are going to play 2 exhibition games at each stadium against each other. So which should be kind of
Didn't they also a couple days? I think I just heard it. Aren't they doing something in for the Cyclones field?
Oh, the Mets, yeah.
What are they doing over there?
I think they're doing a practice.
A practice? Oh,
Yeah, what good is it? The people can't go out and watch it.
no.
No, you can watch from the boardwalk, actually.
Okay.
Danny's going to go run over there and jinx the whole team.
No, I've been to one Cyclone game in my life and I didn't have a good time.
I mean, I like barking there.
It was nice. It was, but you don't know the players. You don't know.
Yeah, unless one of the major league guys went to do rehab there, like when Jeter did it with the Trenton Thunder, and you couldn't even get by the stadium. It was like, I heard it was like insane.
Oh, and also the next year on 9/11, the Yankees and Mets are going to play.
Yeah. That's going to count, I guess. It's the way the schedule is going to work. They're going to play them celebrating 20 years. Should be. Is that City Field, I think, right?
Oh, I don't know. All I know is they're playing together next year.
But it won't matter. I can see what they're going to do and how they'll represent that, and it'll be very. I'll be a tearjerker, so I'm sure Piazza will definitely be in attendance for that.
What do you guys think of these players who opt out?
I can't fault them because they're scared. You know, if they're.
I'm sorry. If your age is 25 to 35 and you're a healthy guy, I understand if you maybe have young kids in the house or, you live with your parents or something. But I mean, come on.
I know. So I know Markakis backed out. Freeman may back out because his wife's pregnant, and after Freeman getting the virus, he may back out. I can't go. Like I said, I can't fault them. That's their belief.
But where were these guys when they got it?
I don't know. If that's correct. So you don't know if they weren't staying home or they were doing whatever they weren't supposed to be doing. They're not saying nothing. They don't know how they got it.
Right. Now,
not telling you.
Now, the point I was making the last time was, if they knew Florida was such a high area for it, why did they continue to have these guys go practice in Florida? Didn't they tell them to leave there?
Yeah, they told them to pack up and go back where they're supposed to be. I don't know.
Aren't they training with their home fields?
Now they are. I'm saying before that.
Before that.
Okay.
Yeah, before that.
But it's funny because I know Menage.
What?
Always lose a train of thought at my age. The Cuban Missile there, Chapman. He was practicing in his home wherever he lives. I know Garrett Cole a few times was at Yankee Stadium when they all drove. I mean, practically the whole team lives either in Connecticut or New Jersey anyway.
You could tell the guys who take this game seriously and the guys who don't. Like, you got someone like Jacob deGrom who he said he's already ready to throw 85 pitches. Like, these guys have been working the last 3 months.
Trout is ready. He's
actually Trout, unless I heard different. Trout was on the borderline because his wife's expecting their first kid.
Wife's doing all right.
So Trout was like maybe he's on the fence. He may just back away this year.
Hello, Governor.
So it's now for the people who have the more. Yeah, okay, I'm on. For the people who have the guaranteed contracts after this year for next year and a couple more years, that's fine. But the people who are only on guaranteed this year, they have to play.
Right.
It's the people who have the long.
Well, no, Markakis is a 1-year deal, and he's sitting out.
Who's sitting out?
Markakis. He's a
oh, yeah,
deal,
okay, Markakis. Yeah, he's deciding not to.
But someone like David Price has been
Now, what do
who's
they?
been
They
robbing
get they
the
get
Red Sox for millions a
they
year.
get paid a full
Now
salary.
he's going to
No?
rob the
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I think they get their full prorated salary, whether
Oh,
they play or
prorated?
not.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know if your job has it. If they have to, I think. If you go away to Florida,
Right.
come back and you got to be home for 2 weeks to be quarantined, you're supposed to get paid for that. Your job's
What was
supposed
the question?
your job's supposed to pay you.
I'm not going to Florida.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, the three of us went to Florida and we got to come back home to be self-quarantined. Our job's supposed to pay us under the COVID-19 law.
Oh, okay. Now, what if they're a private company and they choose not to?
Oh, that's. I would imagine that's a nice lawsuit, and then they'll probably tell you like an idiot. Well, you did go to Florida.
I'm not going down there anyway, but still, I hear you.
I don't think I'm going anywhere for a long time myself.
These guys have the option to get paid and sit home. What job does that?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, I'll listen to the rest of you guys' show. I got kids to deal with.
I know, we here.
I'll talk to you guys later.
You got it,
Nice.
Danny.
Talk
Always
to
a
you next
pleasure
week.
talking to you.
All right. Later, fellas.
All right, later.
That's one of our beloved co-hosts there, Danny, who's it would have been crazy if for him working, being an EMT guy and everything.
Oh,
Dealing with this not only with 9/11. He's
correct.
Matt just tuned in. Let's give a wave to Matt down in Florida.
And our call-in number is 609-807-2492 here at Hamilton Radio Station and on Horse Films. Please call in, and we'll take whatever you want to talk about. We'll listen, and we'll talk back, and we'll discuss.
Yeah, call in and call some questions before he hits the field, will you? Hit one for the Gipper.
Hopefully, I don't make Hopefully, I don't make no errors tonight. That's
anyway. What are you playing? What's your position?
either might be at first base tonight.
You got a first base with it?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I haven't bought equipment. I don't even know what happened to my damn batting gloves. Now that I think about it, when you said batting gloves, I used to have two nice Under Armour ones.
Didn't you use it when
ones.
we were at Woodford Park? You didn't use them?
No, I thought I had them in my bag. I didn't have them.
Oh.
You know what? Everybody hit Modell's before they go out of business completely because they reopened. I think I'm going to have to hit it again.
Oh, I went to we got a phone call here. Phone caller. Yes,
Matt?
you are live.
Hello? Hello?
Hello there.
Who's this?
It's Matt Sirianni from Sirianni Says Sports.
It's the Matt Attack in the house all the way from FLA. What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much, guys. Things are going good. I've been in Florida for 10 days. I've been staying safe. And I had the show yesterday. It went well. Everything's going good.
How's everybody down there?
Everyone's been great. We've been having fun. We had 4th of July party early in our vacation. We have been just chilling out. We've been eating a lot, but we're just living life, and that's all you can do.
All right. If my mom is close to you, tell her I said hello.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I don't know if I could. Am I allowed to stay on, because I want to talk to you guys about baseball coming back soon and what the expectation could be for the Yankees.
Now, you don't have to ask that question. You're part of the team, brother.
Thanks.
So what do you think, Matt? Does it get worse before it gets better?
Honestly, I think the Yankees, they have a chance to. Well, first off, I think Vegas has the Yankees rated to win the World Series this year. And if you look at their schedule, they have a tough schedule because it's all based on demographic convenience. So they're going to face teams like the Rays, who are really the only competitive team left in the AL East. But you look at the National League East, and the Mets, they finished over 500. The Phillies are looking to make up for going 81-81 the year before. The Nationals are the defending champs, so you can imagine they're going to be coming out swinging. And the Atlanta Braves, they want to redeem themselves from embarrassment. The Marlins are awful. The Orioles stink, and the Blue Jays stink. But other than that, I can't see any reason why the Yankees wouldn't at least win 42 games.
Yeah, let me tell you that the NL East is going to be tough for them, especially Washington, and that's got to be probably one of the best matchups in baseball right now with how that opening with Cole and the Max man, one-eyed Max, two different color eyes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I feel like as a general way to gain mojo, if you can knock off the defending champions in the opening series, that would be huge to gain mojo, to gain confidence. And imagine if they do it without their second baseman, because they might not have LeMahieu in time and they might not have Tanaka for game 2 or 3. But I can see this team putting up a fight opening series.
Right. You got to come at it at least with one win, if not two. Who's going to the second game?
I believe, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be.
I guess Corbin will go second or third.
No, Corbin's 3. They're going to do Strasburg, $1 million Strasburg number 2, game 2. They might even do Strasburg.
It's Scherzer, Strasburg, and then Patrick Corbin.
They might do. They already said Scherzer's going game 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then it'll be Strasburg 2, game 2.
So he could face either, if Tanaka's healthy, Tanaka, or he could face Hap. Hap looks good.
Now with
Montgomery looked good. He threw a couple innings the other day.
Now with no fans in the stadiums this year, do you actually think that home field is actually going to be home field advantage?
I don't know. They said they were going to play like songs and stuff, like if people were actually in the crowd.
Because
I don't know
if
how
everybody,
that's work.
because back in the day when everybody was going to Yankee Stadium, we would have everybody there. No one's going to be there. So when the Phillies go to the Bronx in the second week of the series, it's not going to be a daunting task because no one's going to be there. You know. So how the only advantage is you're going to be hitting last.
Well, it's funny you mentioned no fans in the stand because I actually heard a report from the Oakland A's saying that they're going to make papier-mâché cutouts of baseball fans, and they're going to charge people to put their papier-mâché cutouts somewhere in their ballparks because it's the only way they're going to make some sort of revenue from fans.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Since we have you on, Matt, we talked about it last week with our previous guest. We want to give a shout out to Ray in North Carolina and his son.
Oh yeah.
Give a shout out to them. What do you think about the extra inning rule? Do you like that rule going forward after this year, or do you want it to go back to normal starting next year?
Was that a minor league rule? Somebody said.
Yes.
The extra inning rule is fine, I guess, for the time being. Because you got to remember, the next couple of years with baseball are going to be pretty wacky because, this year we're only getting 60 games. But I like I think it should go as normal by next year or even in 2022.
Wow.
So,
what about the universal DH? What do you think of that?
I think that's great. You want to know why?
It saves the pitcher. I keep saying that.
Here's why. Because pitchers are basically a waste of a batter when it comes to the National League. So when you have a universal DH, you're not going to have, Masahiro Tanaka, God forbid, stepping up to the plate and striking out 3 games. And if you look at the landscape of Major League Baseball, the only pitcher that's proven that he could hit is Madison Bumgarner of the Giants.
Correct.
So I feel like this is great across the board, and I feel like it should be kept.
Now, whether you saying his name, I won't be surprised that when Matt Bum starts for Arizona, Matt Bum hits, no DH.
Mm-hmm. They might.
Unless he is the DH.
Actually, then no, they can do that. They could do that. They could do that like how Anaheim's going to do with the Angels are going to do with Ohtani. They can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That'd be cool to see.
Now, I have another question, then I'll kick it back to Sal. By them not agreeing, do you think by them not agreeing to the 66 or 72 game season eliminated 6 extra teams to get to expand the playoffs? Do you think that what the players, by not affording, do you think they messed up by not giving 6 extra teams a chance to get into the playoffs this season?
Well, I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like no matter what, like I'm kind of just happy that Rob Manfred put his foot down, because if you followed the back and forth between the players' union and the owners and all the drama that's been going on, trying to get a season going, it was good that Rob Manfred had to put his foot down and say we're getting a 60-game season no matter what. So I feel like we're not having more than 60 kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, having those extra 5 or 6 games. So you got to come full speed ahead.
Yeah, you got to do something. Something's got to give along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, who do you think is going to pick your picks for the AL East? Who are your division? Who's your division winners and wild card winners?
Well, I'm hearing that there's going to be like a 16-team playoff, if I'm not mistaken.
It's only
So
10.
it would have to be 3 division winners and 5 wild cards. And I think when it comes to the American League, I feel like the division winners are going to repeat. I feel like the Twins, once they get their bearings back, and once Miguel Sano and a couple of their other players come back after quarantine, they're going to be really good this year. I think the Yanks and Astros are going to do well again. As far as the 5 wild cards go, I like the Tampa Bay Rays. I like the Angels, if they could get something going now that they got Anthony Rendon to complement Mike Trout. Let me see. I like the Oakland A's because they've shown promise. Let me see. It's 6 teams already. I need to pick 2 more. Boston's out. The Orioles and Blue Jays are out. The Texas Rangers seem like a good pick. And then for my 8th team, I'm going to say the Seattle Mariners make it in and end their long playoff drought.
Now, I don't know if you heard, they're not expanding the playoffs this year, Matt. It's still the same old 3 division winners and 2 wild cards. It's back to the same old format.
That's it?
Yeah, they're not expanding this year. That's the thing for them not accepting the less games. There's no expanded playoffs. It's the normal 5-team in AL and 5 in NL.
Oh, wow. So, so knowing that in mind, the 2 wild cards coming out, it's going to be the Rays and the A's. It's going to be the same playoff picture as last time.
Same teams from last year. I could agree with the 2 wild cards, same team from last year. For me, I can't pick because that was before the pandemic even started. I won't know until opening week when when you have all the players on active roster for the rosters are set. Then I'll make my decision on the 22nd before we start on the 23rd. I can't pick because we don't know who's going to be ready. They might be out for 3 weeks. I just don't know.
That's right, and don't forget, folks, on the 22nd of July, it's opening week special. Of course, Matt, always welcome to call in. You can give us a call. And hopefully we could do a Zoom thing and maybe cover the Yankee National game before it goes on the air. Maybe we'll try something really good.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
So we'll try something really crazy. How's the weather down there?
Oh man, it's hot and humid down here.
It's like that here, unfortunately, too. It's about 90 something with the humidity up here.
You're lucky.
Is it really?
Yeah, you're lucky. You were home. Lucky you were home on Monday because we had torrential heavy rain and hail Monday afternoon.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Some areas of Jersey got like golf balls coming out of the sky.
Yeah, I saw that. It was crazy.
And the temperature dropped like 30-something degrees.
Oh, yeah, right after the rain. Boom. Dropped quick.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy, that's typical New Jersey for you.
So how much longer are you in Florida for vacay?
So I'm coming back tomorrow morning. I'm going to be flying back. But then you got the 2-week rule.
Right.
So I probably won't be out and about again until probably late July. But I'll be will and good.
Hello?
I don't
Hello?
know.
You there?
Think
Yes,
we lost
I
him.
am.
Okay.
All right. So, I miss going to Florida. I never took my son down there. You know, I guess I'll wait until it's back to normalcy.
Hopefully next year.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matt, tell the audience what day and time your show is. So, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Thank you for giving me the floor. So my show is Steely Annie Says Sports. I'm on every other Tuesday. I had the show yesterday with my cousin Ryan and a really good friend of mine, Justin. It's every other Tuesday for now, but then once sports start to come back, it'll be every Tuesday. We're on at 8 p.m. We're using GoToMeeting to do the show. We talk a lot of sports. We talk football, baseball, and basketball. The NBA is going to be back soon. Baseball is going to be back in a couple of weeks, so there's going to be a lot to look forward to. And trust me, you don't want to miss out. So if you want to tune in every other Tuesday for now, and then I think by September we should be going every week again. So
Yes,
I'm very excited for what's to come.
yes. Let's hope everything is back to normalcy with sports, so people could get their mind off of all the craziness going on. And folks, trust me on what this man said. It's a great show. Matt knows what he's talking about with his co-host. And everybody, and I mean everybody, whether you were on the show once, twice, and then did something else, we're all one big family at Hamilton. And we are your world leader in sports and entertainment here. So catch any show, any night here. Not just us. Not just Jonathan or Matt, and then you got Andrew on Mondays. You got, of course, DJ Danny and her great shows with all the entertainers and musicians there. Jerry Petito, always a shout out to Jerry. I haven't seen Jerry in a while. God bless you, Jerry.
Yes. Same here.
We miss you, and she's awesome, the Jersey Jewel. And then of course, what else? Then you got all the other stuff going on in rock and roll, of course, with my my pal Carlo and them with the whatever they're doing over there with their stuff. And I don't know. I keep looking at these schedules. It's crazy because you want to know why. I'm thinking it's spring training. Because am I wrong? If you look at these schedules, it looks like a spring training schedule.
That's what they're doing because they can't go. They're only staying on the East Coast.
Yeah, but you're really not staying on the East Coast because if you think about it, the Yankees got to fly to Florida anyway.
Well, it's on the East Coast, Eastern Seaboard.
But you're going to Florida. Well, they're all going in their private jet. They're all having their...
Sorry to cut you off for a moment. Have they made any announcement at all as to what's going to happen with the Blue Jays? Because they can't play in their home field.
Not yet. I've heard nothing.
I heard that they were talking to the government of Canada or something was going on. I thought they got the okay. I thought I read that. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
I thought I heard something about Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Isn't it cold there in Buffalo?
Not now. Not now. We don't get cold in Buffalo until I don't know. They get snow up there late October, early November.
I heard it gets worse there than it does here with the winter. So.
Oh yeah, they got the lake
you
effect.
want BB, and I'm not going to say what BB stands for. If you get my drift, you want those. Just go up there and sit down for a while. It's like sitting in an ice box. If you catch my drift. So what do you think? If we're going to get off baseball for a bit, what's going on with the basketball? Because they're going to be down over there by you guys, in Florida. Yeah. How are they doing this? I mean, it looks like the Nets aren't even going to play.
Yeah, the Nets have lost a lot of guys to the coronavirus. Noreen Price, I think, was the next person who tested positive. So Price is out. Spencer Doolittle is gone. DeAndre Jordan is out. I've heard reports that maybe Kevin Durant might make a move to step up and maybe take over, but I highly doubt because he suffered a severe injury in last year's NBA Finals. So what's going to happen as far as like the overall picture goes? I think players are going to be tested. I think twice a week or 3 times a week, depending. And depending on what you do in Disney World, like if you're out golfing or if you're in the entertainment room or if you're on rides, because Disney's opening soon. So depending on what you do, you're going to be quarantining for a few days, and you're going to be tested more frequently depending on how active you are in the parks. So that's what I've heard. Everyone's going to get 8 games when they come back. If the team's on the outside looking in of the 8th wildcard spot, if they're within 4 games, there will be a play-in scenario, which I think is great. And then it will kind of just proceed as normal, except it will end in October.
Excuse me, Matt. You could. I just wanted to tell everybody it's time for me to sign off for tonight. I'll be back same time, same channel next week at 6 o'clock. Unfortunately, due to calls for me to be on the field tonight and play.
He's going to play baseball without us.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm going to sign off. Thanks for everybody in the back for having me on tonight. And go ahead, Matt. You and Sal still have the show. Go ahead.
Hit one for the Gipper, will you?
Okay.
Don't forget your phone.
I got it.
And that's my co-host. He's getting ready to play baseball. Suit up, ready to go.
Carl, best of luck to you, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I feel bad for them because they had such a good. They're right there in the playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
Yeah, the Nets, they were 7th in the Eastern Conference as far as the Eastern Conference team goes, so they would have had a playoff spot. But then Corona went down, and players were starting to come out tested positive. I think in March, there were 4 players that came out and said that they had the virus. So it kind of started falling apart at the seams. And you got to remember, we didn't know if we were going to get a conclusion to the NBA season until possibly, I think it was May, when everyone came together and said, hey, we need to finish this. So it's just a shame the Nets are kind of a step behind. The Washington Wizards, who were the only outsider team as far as the playoffs go in the Eastern Conference, they're not going to have their best guy, John Wall, so they're in a little bit of a struggle, but maybe they can turn things around.
Well, all right. We spoke about this. It's going to be crazy. I don't know who's going to win a batting title, who's going to hit the most home runs. Who has more of the advantage now? Is it the pitcher or the batter?
I do remember last year we talked about balls being juiced last year, so this is kind of an interesting question. I feel like now, I think pitchers are going to have the advantage because hitters are not going to have a sustaining power for 60 games. So whatever you have for the next 2 months, 3 months, you have to bring it, because if you don't bring it, there's going to be no way to kind of
right.
If you go through a slump, you're slumping for good. Like baseball, I remember this in the Long Gone Summer documentary. It's usually 162 games in 185 days. So it's a marathon. So if you come out flat-footed, that's probably going to set the tone for how you play in the short season.
Right. Cole's been throwing hard. DeGrom has been throwing hard. I noticed Jordan Montgomery is back. He was throwing at the stadium. These guys look good, and Lewin. I don't know. Severino's not pitching at all this year, right?
Yeah, Severino is a no-go this year, unfortunately. He suffered he will not be active. So the Yankees pitching rotation as it stands right now is going to be Cole. It's going to be James Paxton. It's going to be Jordan Montgomery. It's going to be J.A. Happ. And then, let me see. And then the 5th seed will probably be Yeah, I think I'm right over there. I think I just named and Masahiro Tanaka. Tanaka's going to be shaken up because he got hit with that liner in practice, but after a couple weeks, he'll be fine.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We want to always thank people who are watching the show. Just to put it out there, I was talking to Mr. Fred Urban, who runs and owns the Schnitzel House in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. We were going back and forth talking, and we might be hitting a live road show towards the last 2 weeks in August when the Mets play the Yankees and do a live show there.
That sounds cool. So, Sal, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the Yankees and Mets playing on September 11th of 2021?
I think that's great. I don't know. Do you know what field they're playing at? Does it matter really? I mean,
for the most part, I think it's probably going to be played at Citi Field. I would think, because one of the most iconic moments in Mets history was when Mike Piazza hit that home run the day after or 2 days after.
right.
So I feel like it might be played in Citi Field as opposed to the Bronx.
I would imagine it's going to be like the 3-game series that they would normally have in the middle of the summer. I guess they're going to make it for that weekend. Hold on a second. I'm actually going to go ahead of... I'm going to look. Hold on. I'm already skipping into next year. Yeah, that's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I'm imagining that that's how they're going to do it. They're going to make that a 3-game weekend Subway Series there for that. Which, of course, if they do it at Citi Field, that'd be great. Piazza will be there, Giuliani. It'll be a whole thing getting with the police, the fire department, and everything. Big ceremony for that, and you can guarantee that's going to be sold out once those go on sale. So.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Like New Yorkers are going to come in. New Yorkers are going to come in blazing at Citi Field. So yeah. I feel like this is a great way to honor the city of New York, and I feel like it's a great way to, bring excitement back to the sport in general.
Right, and not only that, by that time next year they might have new ownership. Somebody else might be taking over the team by then. So if this guy Cohen and whoever else, with A-Rod and whoever else get a hold, and let me tell you something, even if A-Rod doesn't get up enough money to take over the team, I would hire him with a snap of a finger to be the GM.
I would too.
You got it. The guy loves baseball. He knows what to do. He knows what's going on. He eats, sleeps, and drinks baseball, as you can hear him when he calls the games and his analysis of the sport. I'd love to get him on this show to call in. I got to see how I can do that. And just the way he goes about it. Mm-hmm. Even though he didn't do right in some respects. But he was the youngest, I think, to reach 500 home runs.
He was the youngest man to reach 600 home runs, and yes, the youngest to reach 500.
And he knows the game, so there goes. Even if Cohen gets the team, and let me tell you something, if that works out, the Mets are no longer shopping at Walmart; they're going right to Tiffany's. Somebody didn't want to mention that on the air last night during his show, so I threw it out there. So
that's a good point.
The Mets are going to go after some top free agents now if this guy takes over the team, and if Mookie Betts after this doesn't get signed by the Dodgers, and he's a free agent, you could look for him to maybe be in Mets enticed. you got to entice the player to want to come here. When
absolutely.
Because when a guy, now look, the Yankees lost out on getting Greg Maddux that time because something happened in the meeting or whatever with the Stick G Michael, something was going on. But you got your Garrett Cole, you got your big white shark. You want to go out there now, and here's a team that made the World Series in 2000 and again in 2015 with that staff. And, if, like I said, they at the time had a staff that could have been compatible to Madillac, Kuzmin, Seaver, and Nolan Ryan with those arms. Now they could go back to that again. Who could we lure here to New York and say, you know what, we're putting a winner together? You got Pete Alonso now in DeGrom and McNeil, Conforto. Keep that as your core, and now build around it. Could you get Mookie Betts here? Who else is a free agent next year? I don't even know what's going on because of what's going on this year. But they're going to be now in the running to get, hey, that guy's going to play for the Mets. Get these fans what they want finally. Get a winning team in here. Make it a competitive city again between the Mets and Yankees. It happened last year. The Mets had a great run. Let me tell you something.
They had a great run.
They're going to be. Let me tell you, they're going to be scary. Either they're going to make one of the wild cards or sneak up and win that division because of the way they played last year. They gave it after the All-Star break. They started being a great team. So I could see Pete hitting maybe 20 to 25 home runs.
Yeah, I can see that definitely.
And if the Yankee lineup stays healthy that way with Stanton and Judge, and they don't get hurt, and Hicks, and this could be possibly Brett Gardner's last year in Yankee pinstripes. It would be a sad send off because there's no fans in the stands.
And it would be.
Yeah, and if it ends that way, it'll be bad because there's nobody to really cheer him on. But hopefully, if he signs just a contract and retires as a Yankee during next year, as the season starts, that'd be grand. A little better send off. At least you'll have people in the seats.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Brett Gardner does have the 1-year option at the end of his contract. When he re-signed with the Yankees, he signed a 1-year contract with a 1-year option for 2021. So if he really wanted to play next year and get properly sent off after 13 years in the Bronx,
right,
then he could absolutely do so.
That's nice, yeah. It'd be great. Because when I used to work at the Staten Island Yankee Stadium, when I used to do security there, and they got the numbers like the Yankees at the stadium who played there, and you see Brett Gardner's number up there. He's the longest tenured Yankee right now.
Absolutely.
He's a remainder. Could he get thrown out of the game for hitting?
From that 09 World Series team.
Can he get thrown out of the game for hitting the bat in the dugout again? You think they're going to be watching for him?
Oh, man.
That's great.
Well, the thing now with no fans is that there's going to be no one to egg him on to do it. So,
yeah, I don't know if you heard us. We were talking. I said, you see Bugs Bunny and Daffy, duck season, rabbit season scene. Let me tell you, it's hunting season in Houston because you can't go out and brawl with anybody. So the Astros is right for the picking right now. The Altuve and them.
Big time.
Who are they playing? You know what? I didn't notice.
Well, the way this schedule works is you play your division 40. You play 40 games amongst the 4 teams in your division, and then you play your interconference counterparts.
All right, I want to take a peek. I want to get off the Yankee one. Hold on. I'm trying to. I'm hearing Eye of the Tiger in the background somewhere. Come on, Rock, get that chicken. I don't know. I gotta see. Bear with me, folks. Just bear with me. Astros 2020. Let's see. They open up against. They're playing them. Let's see. The Mariners. Then the Dodgers. Oh, there we go. That's a throwing match right there.
Yeah.
Dodgers are going to get even. And then they're playing the Angels. Diamondbacks.
Okay.
Maybe Mad Bum might throw one in there. The Oakland A's. You know, there's a little little revenge tactic there. That's another team they're going to whistle by them. Let's see. Not so much the Padres. Oh, they're lucky they're not playing the Yankees.
Yeah, they're not going to be playing the Yankees. Like I said before, it's basically your division and then your interconference counterparts. So the Astros.
I'm going with the Dodgers right now, giving them a little whistle.
Yeah, because the Dodgers got screwed in the 2017 World Series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be good.
Absolutely.
Now, Altuve, they better wear some protection.
Oh, yeah, you can imagine there's going to be some balls thrown. And actually, before COVID happened, I think 7 Astros ball players were intentionally pegged by opposing pitchers from other teams because of what happened with the scandal.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be great.
It's anybody's game. Anybody's going to, get out there, do what they got to do. And right now, the odds makers are going with Yankees and Dodgers. So.
Mm-hmm.
And David Price is out for the year, right? Is Price out for the year too?
Yeah, Price decided to opt out for the rest of the year.
Wow. Oh, the Yankees. Well, that's the new Yankee daddy anyway, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, no. David Price has been Yankee cannon fodder for a majority of his career.
I was reading something that he's lost it. So.
Oh, no, he has.
Giving up Jeter's 3,000 hit for a home run. Just hung that pitch a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
Just a Todd. Oh, man. I tell you. So what's going on in FLA? Anything interesting?
Well, not much is going on in FLA. The weather is scorching hot as always. The 7 of us are all hanging out here. We're enjoying ourselves. Like I said, we'll be coming back tomorrow to Jersey, and I get to come back to Jersey. And then by the time the whole quarantine period is over, baseball will be back, the NBA will be back. So there's a lot to look forward to. But I've enjoyed my time here, and I just can't wait to come back home.
Nice. So where is everybody, in the pool?
Yeah, yeah, everyone's outside in the back in the pool, just trying to enjoy the moment.
All right. Very nice. Unfortunately, my complex ain't opening in their pool, so.
Oh my God!
The only thing I could dive into was a shower.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh boy. That's crazy. All right. Well, Sal, I'm going to go because I have to get ready to get packed for tomorrow. But I appreciate you having me on, and I'll call in. I'll call in next week.
You got it, Matt. Safe travels. Thank you for calling in, buddy.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. That was Matt Don't forget, folks, tune into Soriani Says Matt Soriani. So far, it's only every other Tuesday night. He puts on an excellent show. Gotta watch him. The man knows his sports. Always one of the panel members here along with Carl, me, him, and Danny, the Avengers. So, no, we lost a little bit. We'll be we're here, folks. Don't worry. You know the weather.
Thank you. We got you covered, bro.
That's what she told me. I got you covered.
Work on that. We got a new webcam ordered, so we're good. Work on that.
And we're still here. Don't worry. It is so humid out there, you could cut it with a knife. See, I told you we were right here. Oh, he's moving in. Get a little closer. Don't be shy. Wasn't that a bubblegum commercial?
Yeah. Big red gum.
Big red gum. There you go. Look at that.
Red gum. Just a little closer.
Come here, honey. Let me kiss you. That's what I'm talking about. It's. Did I just see that right? Did Aaron Judge just do a commercial? Anybody clarify that? I just saw something about Judgy and Blast. All right, folks. Call in 609-807-2492. And if you want any questions, have your questions in the comment box down below at the page there. Tonight, does it get worse or does it get better? Apparently, I guess the Padres is part of that. The Astros, I think the Giants as well. Something going on that they haven't tested. They can't get enough tests going for these teams. I mean, if they did it right up here, I don't know. Does it get worse before it gets better? Like somebody said, do we play a full season? Does the 60 games even happen? I mean, let's get it going. The fans wanted this for a long time. We finally got it. Let's not drop the ball. You know what I mean? Let's not drop the ball. Let's get it going. Don't forget. There's nobody in the stadium. There's no fans. So with no fans, there's no concession people. There's no security. There's no guest services. There's no people that you just laid off, 25 people in your front offices or whatever for your ticket sales and whatever else is going on. So how do you make up the difference? Do you raise the price of everything next year in your ballparks? Is that going to happen? Could be. I don't know. I don't run a team. I'd like to be the GM of a team. But imagine that. Now, who was out there that what's going on? That's what it basically is. You promised these people at a certain time you were going to open indoor dining. Indoor dining. Okay. So what the restaurants do, they all ran out and they bought whatever supplies, thinking they were going to get bombarded. July 2nd, July 4th weekend, they would have made a ton of money. Killing. And like I said, they did the bat turn. They pulled the lever. If anybody who likes Batman, that red lever in the middle of the Batmobile was for the emergency bat turn, and the parachutes came out of the back, and the guy came with the van to pick them up, and they drove away, and they had another set in there. Wonder the guy. We never saw those parts of the show. The guy putting the parachutes back in the Batmobile or anything like that. Still to this day, we all watch that. You know, I'm part of a Facebook group page of The Odd Couple, and you know when you watch these shows and you know Jack Klugman, who played Oscar Madison, not just played Oscar Madison. Now Jack Klugman and the guy who played Speed on The Odd Couple, one of the guys they played cards with, is also the both of them starred in the first ever kind of CSI show called Quincy M.E., if anybody remembers Quincy with Jack Klugman. I posted the intro on that last night. I haven't seen that show in ages. And Quincy was a great show and actually lasted longer than The Odd Couple did on TV. I think it lasted 8 or 9 seasons. The Odd Couple did maybe 4 or 5. But I love going on these groups. You know, you got that one. You got 323 Chauncey Street with the Honeymooners. And me and my friends, Rob, we could sit at a bar, listen to our friend's band play, and a Honeymooners thing would come up, and you can narrate the whole show. I mean, that's how easy you can memorize things. I could sit here. You could put on the 1978 Superman movie with Christopher Reeve, and I can narrate half the movie for you, just sitting here looking at it in the scene. Or Tombstone, which is another favorite movie of mine, was on the other night. And you know, you have Val Kilmer in the barber chair getting ready to get his shave going. And Johnny Ringo, who's a little drunk, comes out. Any of you guys want to fight for blood? You know, you wretched slugs. And here comes Val Kilmer playing Doc Holliday. You know, I'll be your Huckleberry. And then, you know, just a great movie. I can watch that 1,001 times with a few good men and all that. But there's a lot of good baseball movies out there as well. And, you know, Bull Durham, Major League, another great comedy. 61 was good. There's so many good movies. Anybody ever watch The Fan? The Fan with Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro. You know, when Wesley Snipes played a ball player on a San Francisco Giants. And when he got traded to the Giants, his real number was 37, whatever, and the guy, De Niro, went into the steam room. It was a crazy movie. Anybody saw The Fan? That was a great movie. I just saw that about a week or so ago. It was on. Really, they don't show that as much on as they do. You know, you put on if you have Optimum Channel 41 or whatever was going on, they show all your Marvel movies, and then they had a Batman marathon on. And now there's a thing that Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman, and a certain thing they're doing with Batman with the multiverse with all these shows on Pix 11. And we all heard our favorite is coming back to Law and Order. You know, and then wind up doing a spinoff on his own. So a lot of the great TV shows. Nothing's in production. Only certain parts of the places are opening up. So you really can't have. When they were filming Gotham, right in Staten Island. You know, you go to the old Bailey Seton down by Bay Street over there. They used that as Arkham Asylum, and they filmed a few scenes down the road from my garage in Staten Island 3 there, off of Art to Kill, and they were all over Staten Island. So it brings a lot of money into the city. You know, Law and Order, of course, done in Manhattan, or Staten Island, Brooklyn, and there's a few scenes of some of the sanitation garages in Manhattan they did with Law and Order. It's great. It's great for the economy. Do a movie here. They did a few of the Batman movies here in Manhattan. They did when we were in Pittsburgh in February in Miracle League Family, Mr. Dan, Schweck, and Andy. And Dan was telling me that these are the buildings that they used in Pittsburgh during the Dark Knight Rises. You know, he was taken off in that sort of Batcopter with Catwoman. So that, you know, it all happens, you know, you got to keep the magic alive. We got to get the economy boosting. We got to get all the sports back to where it was. And little by little get the fans in. Yeah, we got to be safe. We got to be tardy, you know. You want to pass laws or executive orders. You got to wear a mask. It's 105 degrees out. No, we're not going to serve you food or drink in here. Okay, what am I drinking? I got to, you know, can I take the mask off a little bit and sip some water? You might get thrown out. It's crazy. It's just craziness. You know, don't forget the little people who work in these stadiums and arenas across the globe. There's no concerts at PNC. There's no... Look at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. You got everything going on there. You got your WWE. You got your Knicks basketball. You got your Rangers hockey. Best concerts in the world. I've worked security there for a long time. I saw some of the best shows. I worked some of the best shows. When the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was there, I happened to be, you know, on the floor that night. And when Metallica came out and James Hetfield said, "We are Metallica and this is what we do," and they revved it up, and the look on people's faces is like, wow, you know. And then Ozzy came out and they sang together. It was awesome. It was just, and I'm sitting near a teleprompter, and I noticed, and I can't think of the actor who it was, and he's trying to read the teleprompter, and I noticed he's looking towards my way, and I sort of slid over this way so he could read it. Oh, it's Tom Hanks. And I'm like, oh, I was in Tom's way, you know. And I, you know, met a lot of my favorites in the hallways saying, you know, don't stop for autographs, you know, just hello and thank you. I used to run into the Law and Order cast all the time during some of the Knick games or some of the boxing matches. And, you know, they used to, if I was on one of the sides where you go into the suites, I'm talking about before they renovated the garden. And I used to see the cast come in that way and used to get a couple of hugs from Mr. Martin. And it was great. They're all great people. But like I said, don't forget, you know, the little people. You know, when you say these, you know, like I said, it's all the arenas and stadiums throughout the world. It's not just here. That put a freeze on everything. Is Vegas? Look at Vegas. Sports betting. Man, nobody's making money. Michael Hills is going to the track tomorrow. No, he's not going to the track. He's going to parks, and he's going to put, you know, they got the sports bars in these things now because they legalized gambling in certain areas. So it's kind of going good in one way, and it's kind of going bad in others. You know, let's put it this way: this year is shot. It's already July, month number 7. 7 down, 5 to go. So what are you going to tell people for Christmas? You can't go into the Christmas tree lighting. You can't have all those people out there and do what they used to do for the holiday. And are they going to put up a tree? New Year's Eve, you're not going to drop the ball. Can't have those big crowds. And if it don't go away, that's all the out-of-towners that come here and generate the city money. Broadway shows, done. Done until next year. It's like a ghost town, Manhattan. I know when I go to work in the morning and I go to Freehold and I'm working security at the community I work in, I'm an essential worker. And let me tell you, 6:30 and 1, and there are a lot of people on the road. Where they're going, I don't know. If they're essential workers. But, everybody does their part to keep everybody safe. It's, does it put a damper on a lot of stuff? Like I just mentioned, the big tree thing in Manhattan, not just the tree in Rockefeller Center, the ball dropping in Times Square. Your Broadway shows, that's a lot of tourists that aren't here no more. That's millions upon millions of dollars. That's like tapping out to Brock Lesnar. Or any MMA or UFC fighter who's got you in one of them holds. So basically, 2020, did it tap out, or are we going to be like Batman, the Dark Knight Rises? Just when you had him down, he rose up. And then Selena Kyle thought, when she looked at him, wow, you're back. If we rose after 9/11, we could rise again. Don't give up hope. That's what they want you to do. Well, they're fighting. This is closing. That's closing. This isn't open. That open. Whatever happened with the people who like to go to church? I mean, don't get me wrong. But what happened to church? Allergies are running up a rampant today. No, getting back to baseball. So do we get better before we get... do we get worse before it gets better? 609-007-2492. I don't know. Could we get better? As a whole. It's all we heard about since March. What is this? Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water again, here came Jaws. That's right, the movie theaters aren't even open. A lot of good movies were coming out this year, especially King Kong vs. Godzilla. I was looking forward to that remake. The Black Widow. Wonder Woman. Usually you look forward to a Star Wars movie. There'll be a new saga and new storylines for that after they did the last one. I see more of that. Now you got Disney Plus. Disney Plus is just got the Infinity Wars after. I guess they had to wait for certain things to drop off of Netflix in order for them to. But if you own the rights to it, why do you gotta wait? So many streaming apps are out. HBO Max. It's got next year. What are you gonna have? The Schneider cut of Justice League, and you're gonna see a whole different take of the movie now. That let me tell you, Marvel is knee deep right now, better than DC. And don't forget, you got your, like I was saying, Disney Plus. You got your Falcon and Winter Soldier. You got your WandaVision. You got Loki. You got all these great shows coming on. You had something on Channel 5 that was canceled that had something to do with the X-Men. I can't think right now because it's been a while since I watched it. But I'm going to tell you right now what it was because I'm going to look on my Hulu. If you haven't caught 911 on Fox, great show. No, The Gifted. Gifted was a good show. Gotham I miss. I think they could have won another round. The ratings weren't great on Channel 5, but the Netflix ratings for that show were through the roof. So I would have just signed for another year, but just put the show on Netflix. Because you were doing it with, I guess with the Marvel shows, you had Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist. Who else was there? I can't think. And then you had the Defenders on, and they were supposed to do a whole thing where you're going to bring these guys into the Marvel universe, being that they were Marvel characters, and all set, I guess, around the same time when they took the Infinity Stones, because there were 3 in Manhattan. Luke Cage was the other one. So those are some good shows. I mean, would have been good. Now they want to reboot Daredevil or something, and the same guy would come back. Or I read the guy who played Daredevil would be in one of the Marvel movies. Hey, what about showing movies at the stadiums? If you want to do things outdoors, it's allowed. So have some of these stadiums show movies on their big screens, limit the sales. And there you go. What's so hard about that? I don't know. I'm just been babbling. Hello, Governor. Just looking at some stuff, see if we get some news. Any things that well, hold on. We were just talking about this with Matt. Let's see. Somebody 60 games, 7 wild predictions. Oh, they did as team. They're saying the teams with young depth, like the Padres, Blue Jays, and White Sox, could play the hot hand in the season. So then the National League fans will love the designated hitter. That's what we figured. They think they're predicting somebody's going to hit 400. And they're thinking Joey Votto. Ronald Acuna Jr. will win the NL MVP, they're thinking. Astros, they're saying, will rock the world at the trade deadline. Okay, what are they going to rock? They're saying they can make a run at JT Realmuto or Francisco Lindor. Yeah. I could see other teams getting into that kind of race. Mets can use an infielder like Lindor. Can you? Guys are going to have fun with your fantasy leagues. Very, very interesting. Whoever has fantasy leagues, that should be something. Anybody out there doing fantasy leagues, feel free to post your stuff on the Talking Baseball with Sal Angeletti page where this is being filmed live. And put it on there so people can maybe hit you up and join your league. I was part of one. I had fun with them when I was in Staten Island 3. That was good. That was real fun and exciting. Should be an interesting fantasy baseball league year. We got about 20 minutes or so to go. And I want to thank the guys in the back, Monk, Ruben, Gene, for always being here for everybody. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Thanks to Matt and Danny for calling in. Thanks to everybody on Facebook Live, HamiltonRadio.net, who are listening all around the globe. Hope you're enjoying your summer so far, whatever there is of it. It is hot and humid out there. Stay hydrated. Have your Gatorade for your electrolytes along with I like drinking vitamin water sometimes, or that new water I drink there, the Nestle Splash, comes in those flavors of. So, like I said, we're going to take the show on the road. So, whoever has a sports bar or a restaurant and is interested in having us, you can always hit me up on Messenger. Drop a line here. We're looking to be in Bay Ridge in August. That's the Schnitzel House. We're going to set up outside. I spoke to Fred, and I will stay in touch with him. It's going to be during the Met-Yankee series. So we're going to promote it big time, so be on the lookout for that. Also want to give a shout out to all the local businesses. Lee down the road there at Friendly's. I almost said Applebee's. Whee! Give that man never mind. Got Brothers Pizza down there on Route 33. Carney's. We got down at Freehold, of course. Jersey Freeze. Colts Neck. You got Colts Neck Deli and Country Store. My friend Peter Grippo at Brooklyn Square. 3 locations. Tom's River, Manalapan, and Jackson by me. You want a car? Get a car. You want a car? Go see my friend Gene Cipriano over at Pine Belt Chevy there. One great salesman, him and his crew over there. Also had a talk with I Play America again. About doing a show outdoors there at Game Time Restaurant. Because they set up outside. Spoke to the guy the other day. He's talking to the marketing team. So we're starting to look up again. We're taking a show on the road. Who else is out there? What else can happen in 2020? Somebody else went Lost in Space. Another great TV show. I think the Robinsons are going to land back here soon. Oh, William! Not now, you ninny. Good show. That's on Saturday nights, I think, about like 1 o'clock in the morning. On MeTV, on Channel 33. Yeah, they got that night. Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Some of the old great TV right there. Battlestar Galactica, the original. There was another one they remade. Some stuff you shouldn't remake. Just leave it alone. How many times could you try The Odd Couple? After Tony Randall and Jack Klugman, that was it. Should have just left it alone. One of they had some great episodes. The courtroom scenes were the best on The Odd Couple. You know, with the extra ticket for the opera. Would you like to go see the show? I have an extra ticket. How much? You're coming with me. Why? I'm getting you for ticket scalping. Well, I wasn't. My friend didn't have a date, and I was trying to get rid of the ticket. Felix, what's taking so long? Nothing, Oscar. You have the right to remain silent. And they go in a courtroom. Of course, the favorite scene was when they had the woman, Mrs. Oham, I believe was her name, on the stand. And Felix says, and she says, well, I assume you asked me that. Mrs. Ohm, did you say assume? May the counsel borrow the blackboard. And they said, sure. Mrs. Ohm, did you say assume? Because when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. And the judge is like, that's very good. They had a lot of courtroom scenes in The Odd Couple. And the best was when that was all over and they won. No, this isn't over. So they're like, what are you talking about? And now, I think we owe an apology to Oscar Madison. I'm calling up as a surprise witness Mr. Madison. He's looking at him like, oh, here it goes. And Mr. Madison, could you tell us why we're even here? 'Cause I couldn't get a date. Can you speak a little louder, please? 'Cause I couldn't get a date. And Mr. Madison, how hard did you try? And you could see Jack Klugman and his legs and shaking with his hands like this. Oh, I tried very hard. And it's just great acting. And there was another time, I forgot which episode they were in court. And I think it was with when they were playing cards. And Murray ran them in for the judge. Oh, you got me in here for a crappy nickel and dime game with the famous fondue stick. And I think it's that was the one. And Oscar's on the stand again, and he says to Oscar, Mr. Madison, do you not have a stolen Mickey Mouse ashtray next to your bed? No, it's a Pluto ashtray. The one with password is the best. When he says Aristophanes and he goes ridiculous. I'm not speaking Alan Ludden. Then they had another one with they were on Let's Make a Deal. When they were dressed in the horse costume. And goes over to him and said, well, folks, this horse is a nag. And he lifted it up, and there's Felix Unger, of course. Why, it's Felix Unger. Hi, America. And he's, So he goes, I wonder who's in the back. And he's going, Oscar. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's Oscar Madison. New York's sports writer. Because what do you do now? Oscar covering the races from the inside? So a lot of great humor in The Odd Couple with all the. And let me tell you something. Jack Clement was a big horse better. And you would probably have catched him at Aqueduct at Belmont Racetrack back in the day. Anybody have pictures of the arena, what it looks like in Long Island? Because let me tell you something, when that all goes on there, that's going to be something. Because it's literally connected to the racetrack from the way I saw the last designs. So we got about 10, 15 minutes to go before we skedoodle. Of course, thank you all for tuning in. I share this show to many groups out there. 2 of them are sanitation groups. Yes, I am going on 3 years a retired sanitation worker from Staten Island 3. I just post this on there so you guys have something to, at least have something to relax, take your mind off stuff. Well, yesterday would have marked my 23rd anniversary on the job. I started July 7th, 97 in BK 15 in Sheepshead Bay on Knapp Street. Became an instructor at Randall's Island for a couple of years and then transferred to BK 12, then in Staten Island Transfer Station, then ended up in Staten Island 3 where I ended my career with a great bunch of guys. So everybody stay safe out there. And all that other jazz. You know, love y'all. And just going through some of my paperwork, looking, where would we be without this technology? You know what's funny? If anybody was watching Dave Righetti's no-hitter the other day, they showed it on the 4th of July. And you heard in the background, when you watched those games back in the day, the typewriters going from the press. And I was laughing. I said, oh, my God, I remember those noises. You used to hear the press in the background, whatever newspaper, different daily news to the Post or whatever, and you heard the typewriter noise in the background. And imagine that, all the ribbon and the paper, and now everything is just on a computer now. Could you imagine if it was still like that then? And you used to hear that, my man Paulie Machi is watching, and you hear, in the background. It's great. What do we talk about next week? We're going to still cover, I guess, from now to then. The Yankees and Mets will have their exhibition games at each stadium. We're going to also have, we're going to talk about, now that I mentioned Rizzuto and them, let's talk about, we were talking about it just about a week ago. We were going over, the old broadcast crews. You had Rizzuto, White, Messer. Then you had Seaver in there for a bit. Who else? You had Mercer, after he retired, was in there. Then you had all these other guys in the changeover. Then ESPN was on. Yeah, don't forget you had the guys doing Monday Night Baseball. Well, the same guys doing Monday Night Football, with the... Down goes Frazier. So, same guys calling each. Then the games got to Channel 5, and then an MLB Network came on the air. And then WFAN became, 33 years ago, the first and only 24-hour sports radio station. And Susan Waldman was part of their first run. So we're going to talk about, those people, the Rizzutos, Mel Allen, This Week in Baseball, Twib Notes, all these great shows that were on for us back in the day at Johnny Bench, the show with the kids. It's great. I wish those were back on, somebody else doing it, or can you see a Mike Trout doing something like that with the kids? I could. Have the new faces of baseball, Trout, Judge, and I'll Pete Alonso, sorry. Do stuff like that, Be kind of cool. Get that kind of stuff out there. Reach a whole new genre of, era for the kids who look up to Judge and Pete and Trout and whoever. And I grew up liking Nettles and Winfield. I played third base, Greg Nettles, and I was an outfielder and began to love Winfield. Winfield had a gun for an arm. And if you notice, he was a right fielder, but if you notice Thorne Righetti's no hitter, he played center field. Mattingly was just on the Yankees, wore number 46 before he wore number 23. So a lot of crazy things happening in baseball then. During the 80s. What's next? What craziness are we going to run into when we come back here next week? Talk about the upcoming season still. We're going to talk about your Yankee broadcasters of the day, the Mets, your Phillies broadcasters because of our Philly fan and call. Matt will be calling back in next week. We'll try to get a special guest, of course. Sometimes it's not easy. See if I can shoot for one of the superstars. We got a couple of minutes to go. We got the 2-minute warning right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it out for my co-host, Carl Magowski, who is right now playing softball for the three men in the back. Gene, Ruben, and Monk. I'm your host, Sal Angeletti, for Talking Baseball with Sal Angeletti. Until we meet again, always New Jersey. Stay classy. And we'll see you all next week. Keep it cool. Good night.